This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Welcome to the Front Porch. Real conversations about life, leadership, and perseverance. Each week, Dennis Polian and Jay Davis bring you inspiring stories and lessons to help you grow, lead, and thrive. Pull up a chair. The conversation starts now.
Welcome back to another edition of the Front Porch. I'm Dennis Polian with my friend and partner Jay Davis, and we have a very special guest today, Mr. Robert Barnes, who, like me and Jay, after 20 plus years in an industry, in a hard industry, made a pivot in his career midstream, just like us, and has a lot of great insight to share with us today. His name's Robert Barnes from Odessa, Texas, a Baylor alum, makes his home now in Waco. Robert spent just about 20 years in the restaurant business in a number of capacities, and then made the pivot out of the restaurant grind into the real estate grind, and has been in that industry for about 10 years. Currently the owner of Greater Waco Realty with a team of about 23 now?
That's right. Yeah.
Has done a great job building a reputation for being first class, ethical, building a strong team, unbelievable at what they do in this community. So we thought Robert would be a great person to hear from for those who are looking to strike it out on their own, change an industry, own a business, and take some great lessons from that. So welcome. We appreciate having you.
Yeah, it's great to be here. So I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no, this is great. I'm looking forward to it. How about you, Jay?
Absolutely, all the time. So I always get in trouble. There's a point in the show where, I don't know, anywhere from 5 to 12 minutes where we're off the rails, and then
Shocking.
Big Ben over there, starts checking the clock, and I can't say hi to anybody, But anyway, no, we appreciate you having you here. Looking forward to kind of getting a little deep dive into your life, your career. And kind of what makes you tick and what makes you successful, and both personally and professionally. It's we're very laid back, so don't worry. We're very inviting. Hi to Dennis's mom. She's the only one that watches on YouTube.
Still trying to figure out why we're doing this.
Hey, Dennis's mom.
So no, great to have you. Been to Odessa Midland one time for a golf tournament. Flew in. And sorry to West Texas, but I'm glad I flew in and not drove in. Huh? That's a long ways out there.
I've heard that a lot in my life. So, I had a friend one time that he brought his fiance, and he drove in at night, so she couldn't see.
Oh, she couldn't see her.
Yeah, so
that was a good plan, right?
Yeah.
Well, Landman's giving you all some pub out there, huh?
Yeah. It's funny though. Like all my friends out there, about half of them say it's 100% accurate. And the other half say it's just a total
Hollywood
fiction. Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Nothing
Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Yeah. I almost wore that shirt, by the way, too. So that kind of would have been awkward a little bit.
Everybody's fall but me today. I'm glad we're doing this on audio.
Hey, it's your show, so I'll step out because I know you love to take over.
Gee, thanks. Well, let's get started with what I think is probably one of the hardest industries to work in, to own in, to manage in. Your experience in the restaurant business. How did that start? What roles did you have? What was your climb?
Sure. Yeah. It's funny. I kind of always wanted to be in the restaurant business. I remember even one time when I was at Baylor, one of my professors kind of called me out in the middle of class one time and said, "You do not want to be in the restaurant business." And I was like, "No, I really do." And then I remember a few years later, I was like, I should have listened to that guy. So, but no, I started out as a busboy and a dishwasher. I worked at Rose's Cafe.
Oh wow! And
I loved it. Or I loved all the people, and it was lots of fun. And I just kind of worked my way, kept working up. Eventually, I got into management. My first manager job was in Corpus Christi, so the opposite of West Texas. I loved it down there with all the water and the trees and stuff. So, but I worked for a guy named Brad Lomax at a Water Street seafood company, and it was great. Loved it. Lots of fun. Just always enjoyed like leading people and working with people, and people like in the restaurant business are great people. I really did like being like in the public too. Like you meet so many people when you're in the restaurant business. It is definitely a grind. It's a hard business. If you can make it in restaurant business, you can make it in any business. I believe that.
I agree with that.
I moved anyway. I worked for Schlotzsky's in Austin, and that was a great job. I loved that. And I worked for their corporate office. That's where their corporate office used to be, and I ran my own store, but also would help open new stores. So I got to kind of travel around different parts of the country, help people open stores. I helped franchisees that were having a hard time. I would go in and consult and help them turn their restaurants around and become profitable. I really loved it. I had a store there. I won the Cash Cow Award. That's one of my favorite awards I ever won. It was the most profitable store in the entire Schlotzsky's system. Wow. And but my secret was the people. Yeah. I had such a great team. I mean, it was just really, to this day, it's amazing the team we assembled there, and loved it. Yeah. So then I decided I wanted to own my own restaurant. So moved back to Odessa and got in the barbecue business. Was there for a long time. We won best barbecue in the Permian Basin.
Oh wow!
10 years in a row. It was a lot of fun. We did a lot of catering. We fed people in the oil field. I remember I'd be out there sometimes, and it would be like an apocalyptic movie. You know, there just would be like a dust storm coming, and you're trying to serve food.
Oh yeah.
Well, one time I went on a catering, and it was me and this other guy, and they came in and did a test. They always would come in, the safety folks, and do like a drug test. They tested everybody.
No kidding.
They tested me and my employee, and by the end of the day, I was the only one there because he failed his drug test. So I had to feed all the people on my own. You know, so I got lots of cool stories like that.
That's amazing.
But anyway, loved it. Once I got married though and had my son, really it just wasn't as fun anymore. You know, and it was time to try something new. So
I can identify with that. When you became a manager, operator, and then eventually an owner, I'm curious, did you ever have moments where you encountered a situation and you actually relied on any lesson or experience from being a busboy in how you handled it or handled people involved in it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was one of the things is I kind of I worked at every different level in restaurants. So I knew how everybody felt. Like I knew how all the employees, I knew where they were. Anytime I hired a manager, I made them start at the bottom, work their way, and I could tell pretty soon if they're going to make it or not. Because if they don't have if they're not humble enough to go and wash the dishes just for one shift, you know, that they probably aren't the kind of person I want leading my team. So absolutely, I think that really helped me a lot to have gone through those positions. I still would do those things too, even at the very end. I didn't mind jumping in and cutting the brisket or whatever it took, you know. But I think that was one of the secrets to my success and being able to identify with people. Is I'd been there and knew the struggles of that position, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly, and definitely always remembered that.
Yeah, that to me that's gold. As you would say, that is gold because so many people want to start out. Now they think they want to be an entrepreneur, but they don't want to do the hard work. And, you know, like, for example, at my office, nobody takes out the garbage but me.
I love that.
And I have a new team member who actually tried to go take my trash out from under my desk. And I was like, whoa, Kelsey, what are you doing? I'll take care of that. Don't worry. You don't worry about that. Like, you've got other things to do. I'll do the dishes that are in the sink, the coffee cups, make sure that we got water and all of those things. And it's selfish. I hope that I'm giving a good example to them, but it's also selfish because in some ways, it makes me feel like I'm actually contributing in a way, because sometimes as the leader or the owner, you feel a little bit isolated from everything else. And sometimes you feel like you're not contributing to their overall daily success. And that's something that I get energy from. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, and it's back to the old thing is, I was always taught growing up in the golf business that leaders eat last.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Your people eat first. And it's not a condescending thing. It's an appreciation thing. That you're the one out there hustling. You're the ones on the front line. You're the one doing the hard work, even though owning a business is, you don't want to let them know how the sausage is made, right? But your people on the front lines are what defines your success, really, when it comes down to it. So, yeah, leaders eat last, and I'm with Dennis. I'm in a new environment now, and the owner comes around and grabs my garbage every Friday morning when I'm not in my office, and it bugs the heck out of me. It totally bugs me. Totally bugs me. But yeah, no, I appreciate that. I don't think, and I don't want to pigeonhole anybody, but owners get enthralled. They get so excited about being the owner that they forget about the people that really help them be a great owner. And that's a really cool story. Is that, and no matter what you do, you can't do it without a great team.
No, you definitely can't. I mean, it's all about that.
Yep.
That's
absolutely.
That's everything. You're as weak as your weakest link.
Right.
You need to always build a team that kind of culture where you're all helping each other. Everybody, it's not someone else's job. I mean, those are the things.
It's everybody's job, and there's one thing I've learned, that you can't delay gratitude. If people know that you appreciate them, and you do it in the right way, not in a cheesy way or whatever, but letting your people know that you appreciate them, that's when you know that you're going to get it back tenfold. So
it makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Life moves fast, but the unexpected doesn't care about your calendar. At the Polian Agency, we help successful families protect what they've worked so hard to build. From life insurance to smart coverage strategies, we tailor protection that grows with you, so you're prepared for whatever's next. The Polian Agency, where protection meets purpose. Visit PolianAgency.com or call 254-772-1444 to start the conversation.
Now, I'm gonna ask you a question about the restaurant business and real estate, but before that, what made you choose real estate from the restaurant business?
Yeah, I just wanted to move from one grind to the next grind. It's funny. Like I tell the story. Like
you need some therapy then.
You're in the right place. We can get a group rate.
When I was, when I was growing up, my dad was kind of like my hero. I've always really looked up to my dad, and a lot of dads would play catch with their sons in the like in the yard. We would actually go and look at buildings. We would go like on a Saturday afternoon and go look around at different buildings, and he would teach me all about commercial buildings, and
that's neat.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I mean, I always just kind of had that in my heart, and just kind of always wanted to do it, and just always loved like real estate. I love the fact that you're a part of something that, it's so much different than selling like a taco. I mean, it's someone's like American dream. I mean, it's their business. They've worked their whole life to do that, and you're a part of that. You're able to like get them in the building that's going to set them up to really succeed. Or it's someone's house. I mean, it's where they're going to like laugh and cry and raise their family. And I mean, it's really neat to be able to be a part of that. And it's almost like a eternal, and it means something.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And so I always kind of wanted to do that, just really for those reasons.
What has changed at being an agent, so to speak, and an owner of a real estate company? that does residential and commercial. You've seen it kind of from both sides, as an agent, as a broker, and then as an operator in a building. And that's two different perspectives, right? Being an operator and being somebody that's putting a deal together for somebody's dream, right? So what's kind of been the biggest difference, and what's kind of been maybe a similarity as well?
That's a good question. I think that it really does help a lot that I have been on the other side, because I can speak that language. I know how those folks feel. I've laid in bed at night worrying about, the same things they're worrying about. But, I think that one of the things I've noticed since I've been on the other side is there's so much more to it, and I thought I knew, but oh my goodness, there's so much involved in it. And you really need someone that really knows what they're doing, that does it every day, that knows all all the nuances and really is in tune with what's going on, because there's so many moving parts, so many different people involved in every single transaction. And, like a mistake can really haunt you for a long time.
It can bankrupt a business.
Yeah. I mean, you can sign I had a guy, we were going to buy a building. It was like a multi-million-dollar building. We were ready to buy it. The guy that was selling it had tried to save some money and gotten his own lease signed. And he probably saved, maybe a few $100. And this lease was so bad that we had to walk away. And the building never sold, and it's just you see those things and you just don't think but you really, it's kind of.
I mean, for the buyer and the seller, your perspective as an operator, I would think that it separates you from everybody else, right?
I think so.
I hope you'd say that.
No. I mean, I do think that's one of the things that makes me different than most people in my business, is I have been on both sides, and I can speak the languages of both sides.
I can attest. That's why I'm his client. On personal and commercial side of things. Because you've been on both sides, and you've had to build teams. I'm curious. It's such a simple but brilliant way, right, in the restaurant business, if you're going to bring on management, to see how they handle doing everything from the bottom up. You get a great window into their character. How do you do that when you're trying to choose who you're gonna bring on at the real estate company? Because in a way too, now not only are they in your business, but now they are really directly representing you. So their character and their how they do things, right, and their expertise and professionalism becomes so much. Almost, I don't want to discount it, in terms of somebody in a restaurant you're managing, but now this is your brand. And I'm curious, how do you do that in such a different environment, different window? What's that process?
That's been a real challenge going as I've gone forward on that. And one thing is, we've been really, really picky. I think a lot of brokerages, well, there's a lot of great brokerages that are the same, but there's a lot of them that, if you have a pulse, come on. To me, that's like irresponsible, because, these people, this is not a business where it can be like a hobby. I mean, you need to be all in, because this is a big deal, like we talked about earlier. And so I think that's a big thing, is, are you going to be all in? Because if this is a hobby, we don't want you. So do you really have a passion for what you're doing? But I think the main thing is, it's easy to find out how someone is just finding out how they look at people. Is it a transaction? So you ask them about if they've already been in the business. You ask them about deals they've done. You can tell if it's all about oh, this is a transaction. I'm good with that. Whatever. You have to. I think a lot of it is you have to kind of do a lot of background checks. You have to ask them questions. How do they deal with their clients? But also, how do they deal with other agents? Because that's a huge thing in our business. There's such a weird paradigm. Probably shouldn't say this when we get in trouble, but there's just this weird paradigm of like, oh, this is how you're supposed to act. And I think that we actually do it way different, and we get things done because we're actually kind and professional. We respect the other side. Mm-hmm. People like working with us. If you don't fit in with that, you're not going to fit in at Greater Waco Realty.
That's a heck of a concept, by the way.
That is.
But I'll tell you what, it makes it a whole lot more fun to go to work.
Yeah.
And these people are my brand, and really, I'm responsible 100% for them.
We appreciate that.
Yeah. No, doing the right thing is far and few between
if
these days.
You can fog a mirror. A lot of people are hiring those people, right?
Yeah.
And it's when you're trying to build a brand, and then you build a brand and try to protect a brand. And it comes back to the front lines again, is those people are so overlooked. Mm-hmm. And owners that aren't, I would say, true owners get into being the owner, but they don't get into the people that really, truly define them as an owner. Mm-hmm. And those are the people that make it go, right? Those are the people that make you successful.
That's true. Yeah. Speaking of brand, we're going to hear from our favorite brand. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Is this from the Napoleon Agency?
Welcome back to the Front Porch. You did just hear from the Napoleon Agency. We're talking about building a team and a brand the right way with Robert Barnes from Greater Waco Realty. You and Jay just made great points about the right people, taking your time, doing things a little different, and it made me think of Jay and I being in insurance. Captive versus independent, tied to a brand, tied to pressures for staffing, growth, et cetera, versus kind of doing your own thing without those pressures. Real estate, no different. There's captive brands that you can associate with, and there's independent brands, and you chose to go independent and build your own brand. Do you feel like in what you do that gives you more freedom, but also maybe a little bit of more pressure because you don't have that quote unquote logo on your window?
No, that's a great question. It was the same way like in the restaurant business too. I wasn't independent, and then we had to go up against all the chains, and it's challenging to do that. Yeah. Same thing in real estate, probably even like more so, but I wouldn't do it any other way. Like I love being independent. I love being able to like zig while other people are zagging. I love to be able, and that's the thing, we can really truly do it. We know who we are. We can adjust so much quicker. Like this industry is changing so fast.
That's a great point.
You have these giant ships, and right now with like AI and tech, they can't turn that. We can turn immediately. We can switch something that gives us a huge advantage to help our clients, help our agents. I love that. And yes, there's a lot more pressure, but it's just, to me, it's more fun to be independent. And I've just kind of got that. I've always, like my dad was like an entrepreneur. I really truly am an entrepreneur. I don't want to be anything different, you know? So I'm okay being out there like without the net. And I think people don't care as much as they used to in real estate. I think that our name is Greater Waco Realty. I think that's going to actually set us apart as we move forward. You're seeing a lot of these big companies buying each other, consolidating. Mm-hmm. We're like local. It's in our name. We know this market. We're all about this market. Yeah. We're not about anything else. And I think that really does set us apart and gives us an advantage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's a great segue. So what is to get more into real estate and away from the restaurant business, what's the biggest misconception? Because I've been here 3.5 years now, and there was a boom moving to this area from other states. What's kind of the biggest misconception about the real estate world, the kind of the temperature here in Waco and Central Texas?
I think probably right now we really are in a buyer's market. I think a lot of people are slow to like realized that. It was so hot. I mean, it was like a house would go on the market, and that first weekend you would have multiple offers. There was like a funny meme, and the agent was, drinking a bottle of vodka and saying, "Hey, my buyer will give their firstborn son up for earnest money," and then it had like listing agent like was on a yacht, now that's almost flipped, like if you're like a listing agent, it's like, please, because you'll have like 15 viewings on a house, and no one will. Everybody's, oh, we like it. Well, what can we do to get an offer? So I think that's a big thing right now, because that's the thing. There's just not a lot of buyers. The interest rates have really affected things.
Yeah.
They've really locked out those first time home buyers, and it's really put a real dent in what people can do, what they can buy, and I think that on the commercial side, it's affected things a lot too. We really kind of have what you see on that side is I'm sure y'all see a lot of like lease signs are everywhere because people bought buildings. They bought them at the peak. They really can't lower the rates like they should, but they need to, and that's where the market is right now. And I think right now that's probably the biggest misconception of our market is we have kind of gone more to a buyer's market, a leasing market. Yeah.
And the ironic thing is, I think if I polled, I don't mean to be negative, but if I polled 10 people, you would have the most honest and transparent answer as to what that is, because a lot of people are saying, well, it's the economy, it's jobs, et cetera. We're Greater Waco is 250,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
It is really bigger than most of the country in terms of market, but we're sandwiched between Austin and Dallas. So there's a misconception about the size of the community and the jobs that are available when it's really not that, it's the cost. We've talked about it, right? With me, the cost to buy an office, the cost to build an office is probably double what it was 5 years ago because of the interest rates.
Mm-hmm.
And that has nothing to do with people and jobs. And the size of the market, and we don't talk about that, right? Because you think about all of the young people here that are renting that can't buy a house because of that. It's a very interesting subject that could probably be 15 different episodes.
Sure. No. Yeah.
So when you're dealing with that with your team, because you have 23 people plus a few people that help you in the office, how do you, as the leader and the example setter, how do you manage that message, the energy, staying positive, staying real about that, and help them continue to essentially grind?
To me, it's kind of to me, it's an advantage because I think that it's an opportunity to really show your value. I think a lot of times, in like people don't see real estate professionals. Oh, I don't need that. Well, right now, you really do, and this is an opportunity to really show that, to really make a difference and shine and think out of the box and just be honest. That people have these canned answers, but nobody wants to hear that. They want to hear the truth. They want to hear, hey, this is what we can do. These are some options, and I think it's actually kind of brought out the best in my team.
Yeah.
We actually were up 70%. Our agents were in sales in Q3 over 2024.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
So, I mean, that's like real fruit I'm proud of because they're not just sitting around saying, oh, the sky's falling, the market's terrible. Well, yeah.
It's the economy, right?
It's not. I mean, if you go out there and you grind and you work hard and you do the things that have always worked, you can sell these houses. You can help people buy the
consistently
house.
just do it?
Yeah.
Just do the things consistently.
That's
that work?
it. and it's about relationships too. I think you get relationships with like great lenders, and they teach you, hey, these are things you can do where people can get in a home. That they don't know are available, and they're actually some pretty good products.
Yeah.
So
and that's being open minded to the opportunity, but staying true to the process and the system too, is that It's hard, but there's always a pathway, right? If you're willing to put in the work. And I don't mean out of your 23 people, I don't mean to pinpoint anybody, but overall, what makes your team different from everybody else? I mean, we've talked about it earlier, but is there some singular part of what y'all talk about or what you do, or not what you preach, but kind of what you do that you lead by example, that your team takes on part of you and projects that to clients and prospects out there? Is there something kind of paramount that you guys talk about all the time?
Yeah, I mean, I think we talk about how important it is to communicate. That's so important in our business and you can't just talk over someone. You have to really teach them. You have to get down there and
Listen,
tell them,
right?
Yeah, listen and find out exactly what their situation is. And I think it really has made a big difference. We can really communicate. We communicate with the other side too. You listen. That's one thing is I've taught my agents is just sit there and be quiet, and you'd be shocked how many times the offer either goes up, $10,000 or down $10,000 just because you didn't say anything. People will negotiate against themselves, But I think too, though, it's all about people, and I think that's it. We're serving people. They matter. They all have their own thing, their own challenges, and look at them as people. Don't look at them as a transaction. And then my people, I don't want it to all be about money. And it's not for me either. I think there's something about working hard, and that's what really that's what makes you happy. And I think that I want my agents to have a balanced life. I want them to be great moms and dads and great husbands and wives, and be involved in their churches and be involved in the community. And it's not all about money. Real true success is like a balanced life. And we put a huge focus on that at Greater Waco Realty. And I think that people can tell if that's fake or if that's real.
They can. And I can't stop thinking about the term you used, you want to be picky, right? Because, when we talk about growing your team and you talk about the pressures in some businesses of scaling and expenses versus revenue and what may stick, what may not stick. If you have the wrong people, if you rush and you don't bring in the right person, your clients know it. They don't sell your product well. They don't care to learn your product. They are transactional, and all they care about is money, which means they're always chasing, right? And when you don't make it about the money, you're usually going to make more anyway because you're process oriented, you're people and relationship oriented, and that I've as somebody who's almost 50 but just starting out as an entrepreneur, that was probably the most disappointing lesson that I learned. Was I'm coming from a people business, people centered, and now trying to apply that same principle in my business and running into brick walls with folks who are trying to get me to do the opposite, and fighting that pressure. I imagine that can be across industries, right? We're in two different industries talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's refreshing to hear somebody, right, be able to grow a team that big and do it the right way. It's possible.
Yeah, you can't compromise yourself and you can't compromise your brand, because then you become super transparent. What your objective and your mission is all about is that if you're looking to get a quick buck, the people that you really value as clients that you want for generations, they're going to see through it right up front, right? They
sure are.
Yeah.
I think too, when you bring the wrong people into your team, they run the right people off. You got I learned that early on in the restaurant business. Great people love working around great people, and average people love working around average people. And that's been a big one. I think that we really do try to protect that. And it is funny. I think that it is interesting that like the world teaches us. Oh, you gotta grind for that. to make the dollar and stuff. But really, if you take care of your customer, it kind of takes care of itself, you know, and that's a lot more fun. That's a lot better way to like live. You know,
and it's easier said than done at times, right?
Absolutely.
When it gets tough, you
Yeah.
know, it's easy to kind of compromise yourself. But if you have those beliefs and you have those systems and you have the right people in place that keep you honest.
Yes.
Right?
Oh yeah. You got to have that too. You got to have people that will say, Robert,
check
hey,
you, right?
Hey,
Yeah.
I think that was the wrong thing to do, and you have to listen to them.
Shout out to Caitlin, by the way.
Yes, shout out to Caitlin. Definitely Caitlin and Jennifer.
Yes,
they're both
that's right.
Both not afraid to tell me when I'm wrong. Daily.
Well, and as an owner, you have to be able to accept that too.
Absolutely. No,
Otherwise, it's all for naught.
No,
right?
and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what makes you a great leader too, right?
well.
Yeah.
It's how easy is it for you? Well, I shouldn't say it's easy. It's never easy when you have to make a change. But when you know somebody is the wrong person and it might have been a mistake, what kind of runway do you give? What kind of development opportunity is it for that person before you pull the trigger to make a change?
I'm pretty quick to respond, but I do think that you do need to give people a chance. So, but I think it isn't kind to not like talk to that person and let them know, hey, this is what we expect. This isn't really working the way it's going right now, but you know, this is what you can do and work with them. If you don't do that, that's not kind. But I'm pretty quick about doing that. And then if not, then, you know, but usually like really like right now, I've kind of gave this analogy the other day. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, and
That's good today.
well, yeah, today, but not too often over the past 30 years.
Great that you can admit your weaknesses.
I was giving
on
the analogy
podcast.
though because like I was talking about like the Patriots, you know, back in, you know, during the Tom Brady dynasty, they had a culture where somebody, you know, that wasn't the right fit could come into there, and the culture took care of itself.
Yep.
You know, that sometimes people would go in there like Randy Moss, and he would fit into that culture and like thrive. Well, you know, but the Dallas Cowboys, they bring people in and they unfortunately bring it. But so I think we kind of have that. I think that we have that where, you know, if people just don't fit in that culture.
You're the Bill Belichick.
They kind of don't like.
real
No, I'm
estate.
definitely not the Bill. We have opposite personality, but no, I think though that's the thing though is I think that usually people kind of figure out pretty quick. I don't want to be a part of this, you know, and
Yeah.
so
No, that makes sense.
probably not the best
That makes
analogy
sense.
because I'm definitely not the Bill Belichick of real estate.
Well, the ironic part is you bring up Randy Moss. Well, I was at the Vikings then. He went right from the Vikings back to the Patriots, right from us.
Straight cash, homie.
Sorry, Dennis.
No, that's okay. That's okay. But it's a great analogy because
Yeah.
it's wholly accurate based on my firsthand experience.
I think it's fun to actually hear somebody that had that firsthand
Yeah,
experience.
and I will say this: he's obviously never going to hear this, but Randy is unbelievable worker, great guy, really smart, and passionate about his football, and you know, it's clear the Patriots got the most out of him.
He might
You know.
hear it. I'd send this to Rex Ryan every other week.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'll get it. He'll get
Your
it.
mom might like send it to him.
She won't. She probably doesn't remember I was with the Vikings.
Wow. Should I apologize to Mom?
Yeah, you probably should. Sorry, Mom.
Oh my goodness.
Jay's speechless for the first time. That's
Well,
amazing.
no. So
Oh, no.
it's you're his guest.
This
so-
isn't good.
So no. So really the podcast started out as kind of grit, grind, and perseverance. And is there something we always try to pull something out of our guests that is there something early on, a piece of adversity, something that you overcame that kind of propelled you to, you know, start to elevate your trajectory and get you to where you are now? Is there something that you can think of? Is there one kind of monumental moment or something that, you still think about today that really defined, kind of a turning point for you?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I stuttered really, really bad. I still have a little bit of that, but I've been able to overcome that. And I actually I went through a deal. It was like a course where you actually reteach yourself how to talk, because stuttering is just your vocal cords hit funny. That's all it is. It's
No kidding.
Most people's vocal cords go like this, and mine go like this. And so every morning I have to kind of practice speech targets. And anyway, but I think that the answer to your question is that, look, when I was growing up, I stuttered. It was really hard for, like, as a kid. People laughed at me. They made fun of me. I had to overcome that. But also, I think God used it because it really made me who I am as a man, because it helped me to see people and have empathy for people, like, in a way that, like, I don't think I would have if it wasn't for that. Mm-hmm. And I'm really actually thankful for that. And I think it's like really helped me and make me really be able to see people. Like, my thing really is like the underdog. I really love helping the underdog. I mean, that's one of some of my favorite clients are people that, you wouldn't think I would take, but I did. And they're the best people, But I think also too, it helps. It's always helped as a leader. It's helped in the restaurant business. It helps in real estate. But also I had to teach myself how to talk, and that's really overcoming something. And I think it's really made me who I am. If I can overcome that, I can do hard things.
Yeah.
That's not having to deal with it, but that's a huge mental hurdle. And you're as old as Dennis. So, it was a different time when we were growing up. I'm a little older than y'all, but I mean, that's really cool to speak to that and, admit it too, right? Because that's a hard thing, especially in the role that you're in, that, as a leader, we never want to admit our weaknesses, right? Mm-hmm. And that's part of the growth of being a great leader. But that's really cool. And that really wasn't my goal with that question, but there's always something that defines us. Mm-hmm. Whether it was your stuttering, or whether it was somebody that had an issue, whether it was personally, professionally, that they figured out how to work around it, mm-hmm. and not necessarily work around it, but admit mm-hmm. that they had to do something about it, and put steps and processes in place to make that a strength and mm-hmm. not a weakness. So that's cool. I appreciate you sharing that. That really wasn't my objective behind the question. So.
I think that's, that is such a good example for people to hear, because the most successful people, it's probably never put this way, but the most successful people, they have so much grit and they have so much gratitude. And you can misplace what grit is. Grit is really an unrelenting focus mm-hmm. on a goal. Mm-hmm. And grit builds resilience. It builds mental toughness. But it's kind of mistaken for those things. And to have that kind of grit, especially growing up, right? Yeah, and overcoming that and still be mindful of it in terms of how you treat people and be grateful for what's happened. I mean, that is as complicated but simple, I think, as it gets for people who are trying to be successful. So I appreciate you saying that.
It makes me want to go buy a building from Greater Waco Realty, right?
I have to say,
I know a guy. So.
You got a guy?
All right, we have time.
Oh, here we go.
Have time.
I got it.
For three lightning round questions.
I should never interrupt the host.
We're already at the end.
Oh,
We've already run out of time, but we got to get the lightning round.
We have what's called a lightning round. Okay, I get more stuff. Pardon, I was kept it PG. I get more stuff about my lightning round because my lightning round questions, and he's going to get mad at me because my lead in is too long for the
They
lightning
are
round.
so slow. It's like he's like the guy in Up, the movie Up, on a scooter, just meandering down the street, waiting for lightning round to happen.
So you are a very fortunate guest to get to experience the lightning.
Oh, if this is a successful lightning round, we're gonna.
Yeah, he's going.
I don't know what we're gonna.
Yeah. All right.
I'm excited about this now.
Baylor football or Baylor basketball?
Baylor basketball,
Okay. Big Scott Drew fan?
big time. I think
Me too.
what he's done is amazing.
So I went to the University of Louisville, so I'm a huge basketball guy. Anyway, I can't do anything but ask these questions.
Villanova has more national championships, by the way.
Boy, here we go. Residential or commercial deals? Which fires you up more?
Commercial deals,
Okay, I can't
Just
ask
my
follow-ups.
business background. I love that. Yeah.
I mean, we got to ask this question a Texas guy, right? Is it barbecue? Is it a good steak, or is it Tex-Mex?
Well, I was in the barbecue business, so I would
Yeah.
get in a lot of trouble if I didn't say barbecue. So barbecue.
Bigger challenge, managing people or managing properties?
Managing properties.
Okay. There's a little hesitation there.
Managing properties, for sure, yeah.
What's the most important thing in real estate? Is it time? What you've already answered this. Is it timing or relationships?
Relationships.
All day long. Yeah.
Yeah, all day.
There you go.
Wow.
How good was that?
I am
That was
speechless.
like 35 seconds.
That's the only way we can end today's episode. Thank you, Robert Barnes, Greater Waco Realty. Where can we find you?
You can find me Facebook, Instagram, our website, greaterwacorealty.com. We're going to have a hayride coming up December 13th.
That's right.
Come and see us. Dennis is going to be one of our sponsors. It's a great free community event. It's going to be great. It's one of the best things that we've ever done in like Waco. It's Christmas it's just a great Christmas tradition.
Our team's fired up. We were talking about that this morning, actually. So
We appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.
You know, I was supposed to have the opening and closing, so I guess I should have the closing.
you
right?
can take it.
I mean, lightning round. I mean, I was under 2 minutes, so that was good, right?
Success, but I think I helped. I think
Well,
I
you
did,
appreciate,
for sure.
Yeah, it's
You
all
did.
about the guests.
Yeah,
Yeah. There's no thunder
I'm
with the
kidding.
lightning.
I'm kidding.
But no, we appreciate you being here. We love connecting with local business owners. We love connecting with people that get it. We like people that get it. And when I say get it is, you know, everything that we do every day is about conversations. It's about asking the question behind the question. And yeah, if you need you got a commercial building you got a residential property you need, you got your guy right here. So
That's right. And when
come,
you need it
come
covered,
hop on the rail ride.
when you need the insurance for it, you got your guy right here.
They pulled me off the street today. So
That's exactly what happened.
I'm just Ed McMahon today, so that'd be all right. So thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And
Guys.
I got to say hi to my grandsons. Love you, Reese. Love you, Rowan. See y'all.
Thank you for joining us on the front porch. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow, share, and leave a review so more people can join the conversation. Until next time, keep showing up, keep leading strong, and we'll see you back on the porch soon.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.